If you want to get big, important things done, but you always feel like there's something in the way distracting you, it's not your fault. There has been an organized effort from billion-dollar marketing teams for years to try and shrink your attention, get you to buy, watch, or scroll instead. And I know this because it's been my job for the last 20 years. I've been paid to distract you and steal your attention, so I know the tricks. But if you use these 5 mechanisms I'm going to share, you can fight back, fix your attention span, and finally feel focused in every part of your life before it's too late. Let's dive in. The first mechanism working against your focus is variable rewards. And once you understand this, you'll start seeing it everywhere. The foundational research here goes back to B.F. Skinner's experiments in the 1950s. So he put a rat in a box with a lever that sometimes produced food and sometimes did not. The rat pressed that lever compulsively, far more than when food appeared every single time. So predictable rewards drain behavior. Unpredictable rewards create compulsion. He called it variable ratio reinforcement. And who are the people who have spent decades using this exact concept? Casinos and companies in Silicon Valley. And if we replace the idea of the slot machine with an object we all use every day, you'll see the daily life routine of almost everyone today: infinite scroll. And instead of pulling a lever down on a slot machine, you pull your feed up. Now the mechanism is identical. You don't know what's coming, and the possibility that this next one might be worth something keeps you going. The way you pull to refresh on Instagram or your email works the same way. That split second after you pull down and release before the new content loads is the dopamine moment. You don't know what's about to appear. Maybe something interesting, maybe nothing. The uncertainty is what keeps you hooked. This isn't new either. Thick mailers in direct mail, like the ones with something physical inside the envelope, worked because you didn't know what that lump was in the envelope. It could be something valuable, or it could be like a branded pen. The uncertainty made you open it and excited to do it. And that has generated billions of dollars just with junk mail. Variable rewards have been in the marketer's toolkit for a very long time, but we don't often recognize them anymore because what changed is the delivery and the speed. And this is completely intentional. Product teams for major social platforms and businesses have studied this and built these mechanisms deliberately. When they use variable rewards, they are hijacking not only your focus, but your memory. This is why you tell yourself you'll check Instagram for 2 minutes and you look up 40 minutes later having no clear memory of the session. The practical way to counter this, to take back your attention span, is to use what I call a capture page. You keep a piece of paper next to you while you work. When you get the urge to check something that you would pick up your phone for, don't act on it, write it down instead. Sometimes what you write is genuinely useful. Book that appointment, look up that thing for the project, write it, come back to it later. Other times you'll write, wanted to go check Instagram, and you look at that capture page an hour later and you see that you wrote the same thing 4 times. That's the variable reward itch. And once you can see the pattern, it loses some of its power and you start catching yourself before it distracts your attention. The second mechanism is called near miss psychology. On Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, basically any dating app, if every profile you saw was clearly wrong for you, you'd close the app. If every profile was a perfect match, you'd probably match pretty quickly and leave. The version that keeps you scrolling longest is when those match profiles are close. Almost interesting, almost the right fit. You keep going because the really good one feels like it's just one more scroll away. You're never quite satisfied enough to stop. And swiping on a dating app is just like a slot machine. Research into slot machine behavior found something pretty counterintuitive. So a near miss, where the symbols almost line up but don't quite, activates the brain's reward circuits at close to the same intensity as an actual win. The loss registers as almost a win, and that feeling motivates continued behavior more reliably than consistent winning does. Now, the gambling industry understood this and built it directly into machine design, just like dating apps did. The same pattern runs through Instagram Reels, LinkedIn job posts, and even Reddit threads. The content is close to good. You keep going because the version that would actually satisfy you feels like it's just around the corner. This is what makes near-miss psychology particularly expensive. You're spending real time and real cognitive energy on an experience that is calibrated to give you just under what would satisfy you. You're not enjoying it in any full sense. You're chasing a hit that's engineered to stay slightly out of reach. And awareness alone is not going to fully protect you. Your brain still registers the almost reward signal whether or not you understand what's happening. That's why people who can explain exactly how TikTok's algorithm works still end up on TikTok for hours. The tool that actually works here to tackle your attention span is boredom threshold training. What's that? When you feel the pull to keep scrolling in search of the good thing, just stop scrolling entirely. Just put the phone down and sit with the discomfort for 1, maybe 2 minutes. What you're building is your brain's tolerance for boredom without immediately running towards something that looks like a reward. For a dating app specifically, the move is to not open it at all in that moment. When you're about to pick it up, put it down and sit for 2 minutes. Let the itch pass. Over time, those 2 minutes get easier. That tolerance is the same capacity you need to sit through 3 focused hours on something that actually matters. The third mechanism is a combination of something called sunk cost bias and effort justification, because they work on you at the same time. First is called sunk cost bias or fallacy. It's the tendency to keep going with something because of what you've already invested, even when continuing does not serve you. You have a 47-day streak on Duolingo and you refuse to break it even when doing the lesson takes you away from other real work. Or you've already watched 17 minutes of a 20-minute sales video, so you finish it even though you knew within the first 3 minutes it probably wasn't for you. Or you're 80% through a survey. You can see the progress bar, so you complete it even though you got nothing useful from the first 80%. Marketers design directly around this by using things like educational video progress bars that are almost full, Snapchat streaks that create dread when they're about to break, videos with no pause button and no visible runtime, so you never know how close you are to the end. And here's one I find particularly deliberate. It's the word quit. Cigarette companies used that word intentionally to frame stopping smoking as a character failure. So when a platform or a video asks, would you like to quit? The framing is working on you to keep you in. Nobody wants to be a quitter. Now, the more effort you invest in something, the harder it becomes to walk away, and companies and marketers know this. So they build in small effort investments early. You answer the first 2 survey questions, you watch the first 3 minutes of the video, you type out your email address, then you give your phone number even though you didn't really want to. But you already gave your email address, so let's just finish the form. Every small commitment makes the next exit point harder to take. So what I recommend is to use the 10-minute starter rule. When you catch yourself in, well, I've already come this far thinking, that's the cue to stop and give yourself 10 fresh, glorious minutes on what you actually want to be doing. What makes this work better is running it through your identity. James Clear and every serious researcher on goal keeping lands on the same thing. Identity is the mechanism. So when you're sitting there having already sunk 20 minutes into something that is not serving you, think about your identity. You're a founder, a writer, a photographer, a lawyer, whatever. Ask yourself what a founder, a writer, a photographer, etc. would do right now. A writer writes the book, a reader reads one, or outlines, or whatever, or goes for an imagination-stimulating walk. You stop watching the video sales letter and instead you'd open the manuscript. Give yourself 10 minutes to do what that person, that clear-minded version of who you really are, would do. You will rarely find yourself going back to the thing you stepped away from. Re-entry hooks are the 4th mechanism, and this is the system for pulling you back in after you already left. Email marketing platforms, which all businesses use, have a feature called send time optimization, and it works exactly like it sounds. The platform tracks when you with that email address, have historically opened emails, and it schedules future sends for that window. So if you reliably open email at 11 a.m., the campaign is likely to arrive around 11:01. And other platforms have the same capability. Tools like Sprout Social show marketers the 5 best times to post for their specific audience, rated by projected engagement, so they can schedule social content for the moments when you're most likely to stop what you're doing and look. Marketers are not guessing when to reach you. They are using your own behavioral data to identify when you're most interruptible. So while other systems that are ruining your attention span are designed to keep you in, re-entry hooks are designed to bring you back after you had the courage to leave. The platform can't always hold your attention, but it can always try to recapture it. And they work because the cost of re-entry is so very low. One notification, one badge count, one unread number sitting in your toolbar, and your focus is disrupted. Getting into genuine concentration, like the kind of deep work where real output happens, known as flow state, that takes the brain about 20 minutes. One notification you glance at pulls you out, and then you need another 20 minutes to get back in, assuming you have enough control to not follow up on what you just saw. If you're working with email open, Slack running, your phone face up on your desk, ManyChat pinging you every time someone messages your account, you are structurally preventing yourself from ever reaching deep concentration. You might fill the whole day that way. You will not do the work. So protecting the 20-minute ramp up to deep work means protecting the environment around the work. Close the email tab, close Slack, flip your phone face down, or leave it charging in a different room. Turn off any real-time notification tool during the hours you need to concentrate. What I like to do is I have a totally separate laptop just for writing. There's no Slack installed on it, no email, no notifications of any kind. So when I open that laptop, the device itself signals a different context. But you don't need to go buy a second laptop to do this. Just close everything that pings or notifies you and give your brain the 20 minutes of ramp up time it needs to actually let you do deep, productive work before anything else interrupts it. The fifth and last mechanism is called micro friction removal, and this is the one that's probably affecting you the most right now without you realizing it. And I say this as someone who understands attention mechanics professionally. I still sit on TikTok for hours on a Saturday morning because their autoplay algorithm is that effective. And this is because there is no moment where I had to choose to keep watching. The next video just starts without me doing anything. My deliberate thinking, the part of the brain that would have asked, do I want to watch the next one? Do I want to keep doing this? Never got activated. When there's no stopping cue or starting cue, there's no natural exit point. Amazon's one-click purchase was so effective at removing friction from a buying decision that Amazon patented it specifically to keep competitors from replicating it. The engineer who built it was told not to and snuck it out anyway, and it became one of the most valuable pieces of product design in e-commerce history. And it worked for one reason. Removing one click eliminated the half second of cognitive pause where buyers reconsider. That pause is where people change their minds or abandon their carts. So Amazon removed that pause. And this idea is absolutely everywhere now. Video sales letters without a pause button, without a visible runtime, without chapters or timestamps are built to the same specification. You can't see how long the video is. You can't skip. Sometimes captions are deliberately left out because turning the audio on is part of the conversion path, and the marketer knows that the people who commit to turning the audio on are more likely to buy at the end. The people who couldn't be bothered, hey, they already left. Friction filtered them out, so friction was removed to filter for commitment instead. One tap share, one tap open, one click purchase, autoplay on every platform that has it figured out. None of these are default settings that nobody questioned. They are solutions, business solutions to the specific problem the business had of how to keep a user from ever reaching a moment where they consciously choose to stop. The counter strategy here is building what I call an environment zero setup. You audit your workspace and remove every pathway back into those systems. That means working in installed software instead of a browser when you can. So maybe write in Microsoft Word, not Google Docs, sitting inside a browser tab where the rest of the internet is one little click away. It means using one tab. It means your phone is out of your line of sight entirely. If the work you're doing sometimes requires research, keep your physical capture page next to you. And when you realize mid-session that you need to look something up, write it down, leave a blank space in your work and do the research later in a separate session on your regular setup. You protect the focused session and do the browsing in its own dedicated window afterward. This applies to whatever you've been putting off: the book you should have written years ago, the film you want to make, the business you're trying to build. The thing keeping you from it is that the path of least resistance runs directly through every system that was built to pull you somewhere else. Remove those systems from your environment, get up and move around, and the work becomes the default. That's the whole game. Now that you can earn back your time and attention, here is a video where I talk about the creativity formula for $1 million ideas that you can execute. Watch this next.